the Lucas Oil ASCS Show. Your weekly stop for news and talk from America's largest sprint car series on America's fastest motorsports website, RacinBoys.com.
Welcome, everyone, to the Lucas Oil ASCS Show here on RacinBoys.com. I'm Scott Traylor, along with Kirk Elliott, who will be joining us here in just a few minutes with the ASCS Regional headlines. Got a great show lined up for you. Got 4 drivers, 4 different winners here in the last week. We're going to start off with Brady Bacon, who won night number 2 at the Steve King Memorial in Jetmore, Kansas. Jason Martin, who picked up night number 1 at Jetmore, is not a guy that we're used to seeing here on the ASCS Show. We're going to be talking about him and his big national tour win night number 1 at the Steve King Memorial. Then we'll talk to Danny Lasowski, who won up at I-80 in Greenwood, Nebraska. And then we'll wrap it all up with TBJ. Tony Bruce Jr. will be talking about his win at Valley Speedway, as well as its upcoming event here in 2 weeks, the Eagle Nationals in Eagle, Nebraska. But before we get into all of that, we're going to do the racing headlines. Again, brought to you by Griffith Truck and Equipment. Here is Kirk Elliott with those ASCS Regional headlines. Kirk?
And, Scott, as you'd expect over a holiday weekend, lots of ASCS regional action all across the country. Biggest weekend of the year for the regional drivers. And there were a couple of regions that had triple-header weekends. Let's start with the Griffith Truck and Equipment ASCS Gulf South region, starting off on Friday night at Golden Triangle Raceway Park, where Tommy Bryant captured top honors. And then it was all Shannon Tankersley for the rest of the weekend. He won on Saturday night at Gator Motorplex in Willis, Texas, and capped off the weekend. They don't often go to Corpus Christi, Texas, South Texas Speedway, where Tankersley again wrapped up a very successful weekend in the Gulf South region. In the Engine Pros Sprints on Dirt presented by ARP, 3 nights of action out in Ohio. On Friday night at Limaland Speedway, Randy Hannigan taking the top honors. Saturday night at Waynesfield, Ohio is Jared Horseman, and then Hannigan came back on Saturday night at the famed Eldora Speedway to wrap up the weekend for the Sprints on Dirt drivers. The ASCS Northwest region opened up its 2012 season with a doubleheader at Grays Harbor Raceway in Elma, Washington. Friday night, it was Roger Crockett winning the feature race. And then on Saturday night, Brock Limley coming through with the big prize. And 2 nights of action in the Speedway Motors Warrior region. Saturday night at L.A. Raceway in Lamont, Missouri, Evan Martin winning his first of the year, and his dad, Randy Martin, taking the top prize at the famed Bull Ring Double X Speedway in California, Missouri. 2 nights of action also in the Non-Wing Canyon region. Saturday and Sunday night at Canyon Raceway Park in Peoria, Arizona. On Saturday night, it was Dalton Gabbard winning the feature race and Colby Copeland following that up on Sunday night. The American Bank of Oklahoma Sooner region had a one-night stand at Lawton Speedway, where Danny Jennings won the top prize. And at the Speedway Motors Midwest round at Junction Motor Speedway, the high-speed racetrack up in McCool Junction, Nebraska, Ryan Roberts winning his first of his career. And there are limited action this weekend. The Sooners versus the Lone Star region down at Devil's Bowl Speedway on Saturday night. Also, the Canyon region will have action at Arizona Speedway in Apache Junction, Arizona, just outside of Phoenix. And 2 nights of action in the Sprints on Dirt at Hartford, Ohio, and Feist Lake, Michigan. And that's a roundup of everything that's going on around the country in ASCS racing.
Thanks, Kirk, for those ASCS headlines brought to you by Griffith Truck and Equipment. Joining us now on the ASCS show is the winner of night number 2 at Jetmore, the Steve King Memorial, Brady Bacon. How you doing, Brady?
Good.
How you feeling, man? You got to feel pretty good after a good weekend at Jetmore, getting a first and a second.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about that racetrack, but it always seems to be really good to us, and that kind of seems to be the turning point in our season every year. So this year it doesn't seem to be any different. Had a really good car there as usual, and we also got some good luck there as we have in the past couple of years. So everything just seems to go well for us there.
Let's step back a little bit, Brady, and let's go to Valley and I-80. I'm sure that you would rather not talk about those races, because just think about your weekend, what you could have done point-wise. You go into the weekend, you're 60 points behind. I think now you're currently like 45 points out of the lead right now. But you had an 18th place finish at Valley and a 12th place finish at I-80. If you put together two good nights right there, who knows how close you'd be in the points?
Yeah, I would probably be leading the points.
Mm-hmm.
I know Wayne struggled a little bit at I-80 especially. Grain Valley was probably not the raciest track since it took rubber and stuff in the feature, but we definitely should have finished better than we finished. But we just kind of had to ride around the whole time.
Yeah, it took rubber about halfway, didn't it, at Valley?
Yeah, we lost our brake caliper for some reason on the second lap of the race, so we didn't really have much. We just kind of had to ride around and try to not lose as many positions as possible. And then I-80, we had a really good car at I-80 in the feature. We were really charging them through there. I think we got up to 5th or 6th at one point, and we were, still catching the leaders. And then the nose wing rear straps fell down for some reason. We couldn't really find a place where the nose wing got hit or hit anything. So just a parts failure, I guess. And then the way the track was, and the way my car was, really hard to drive without the nose wing, made it really, really tight. And I had my hands full, and we fell back to 12th after that. But just really frustrating to have a car that good and running that good, and then have things kind of, that was kind of out of our control. We had just checked all that stuff, and for some reason just decided to all kind of have problems at once.
Yeah. Well, there is no doubt that you'd be even closer to the lead in the points if you didn't have those two bad nights. Let's move on over to the Steve King Memorial. Night number 1, second place finish behind Jason Martin. And Bud, I got to tell you, I thought there was a very good chance that you were going to get around him there at the end, but they went in and watered that track right before the A main, and that changed everything. That final attempt that you made trying to get around him down at the bottom over there in 1 and 2 on that final lap, take us through that portion of the race right there.
Yeah, we ran second behind him, and we got passed by Jeff there at the end, and then we moved up to kind of where the track was, the top in 3 and 4, and the top in 1 and 2 all the way around. And I had been trying the bottom off and on in 1 and 2, and it just hadn't ever, I don't know if it was greasy down there, just hadn't come in or what, but I'd go down there and just lose the rear of the car as I came off the corner. And on the last lap, I got a good run off turn 4, and he got a little tight, and we got a really good run on him going into turn 1. And I tried it again, and we got, up beside him, but there just wasn't enough racetrack down there to keep enough speed to stay beside him down the backstretch where we could slide him into turn 3, so we had to settle for second.
Yep. How difficult is it? Because the track conditions went from one extreme to the other when they put that water down on Saturday night. And I know, for whatever reason, they don't allow people to go up there and look at the racetrack because they think there's some kind of safety issue. I've never heard of such a thing in my life before. But on top of that, putting all that water on it, not being able to look at the track, how difficult was it to have the right setup on Saturday night?
It was definitely tough. I mean, I think most people went on the conservative side, and I stayed pretty much with what I had in the heat race, just tightened up a little bit from there. So, we definitely could have been tighter. It definitely slicked off a lot faster than everyone thought. So, kind of in retrospect, they made probably the right decision by working the track a little bit. They probably went a little too far, especially in 1 and 2, which was pretty racy to start with. But it definitely slicked up after that, so I probably would have taken rubber if they hadn't done anything. Obviously, we would have liked to have looked at the racetrack before we went on it, but I don't know which one's more dangerous, going on the racetrack while there's infrastructure rolling around at 20 miles an hour, or going out there and not knowing what to expect, going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, no doubt. I agree with you on that one there. All right, let's go to the final night of the Steve King Memorial out at Jetmore, Kansas. You and Jeff Swindell put on quite the battle there at the end of that race. Go through that race right there and kind of run it down in your mind how you remember it.
Yeah, I mean, they once again worked the track on Sunday before the feature, but not quite to the extent as on Saturday night. So it was really good on the bottom, and that's kind of was a good sight for me. We're always really good on the bottom, especially on that size track. So I was kind of just planning to run the bottom the whole time, and then the bottom in 1 1 and 2 got a little tricky. I don't know if it was just the shape of the corner, but it was tricky all weekend. And going through a lot of traffic, they were kind of holding me up a little bit, and I bobbled off the bottom once coming off of turn 2, and Jeff was able to get beside me down the back stretch, and probably crowded him a little bit going to the 3. But when you're going for the win, you kind of have to do whatever it takes, especially for us. Some seconds not good enough. We've had 5 seconds this year on the national tour, so I was ready to win one.
Yeah. And you know, Jeff was pretty gracious about that, driving Rain to Washburn's car. He said, you know what, if I would have, the shoes would have been on my feet, I would have done the same thing as going there and try to, you know, you don't call it dirty, but you're going for the win. And he kind of said, hey, that was okay afterwards. Did you talk to him?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to him a little bit after the race. We kind of had to get loaded up and head home, but I talked to him throughout the weekend. But, yeah, I mean, there was no contact made, and just hard racing. I don't think like you said, he wouldn't have done anything different, and I don't think anyone else would either. So I'm sure some people might have made some contact with him if they were in my position. So, I mean, I thought I didn't do anything wrong, and we, were able to hold on to the lead. And it was a good race for everybody, so no one's car got tore up or anything, and that's what it's all about, racing hard and trying to get the win.
Yeah. All right, Brady, I know we're off this weekend. We're going to be going back up to Eagle here in 2 weeks. That's a track that I know everybody looks forward to going to. Big attendance, kind of one of the big ones on the schedule. We have a lot of big ones on the schedule, but I think a lot of people like Eagle as about as much as any racetrack out there. Your thoughts about going to Eagle in 2 weeks?
Yeah, the last couple times been there, they've had a little trouble with some kind of a whoop section going into each corner. That's really torn up a lot of race cars, so hopefully they have gotten that taken care of. I think it's been there for a few years, but seemed to be pretty bad the last few times. But it's usually a racy track, exciting for the fans up on the fence usually. Sometimes there's a little bit of a racetrack on the bottom, but we've been really good there in the past, and we've also been really bad there in the past. So hopefully we can find the good the speed there this time and get some good finishes and continue to gain on the points.
Yeah, what are you going to do on your off weekend this weekend? There's no such thing for Brady Bacon as an off weekend. You're going to go drive some non-wing cars. What are you going to do?
We're going to the Hut 100 on Saturday. I'm going to run for a Wilkie Pack in the 100-lap midget race there at Hobstadt. And then on Tuesday, we're going to go to Kokomo and run the World of Outlaw race with a Wing 410. So we're going to do that, and then we'll head from there, swap motors and tires and everything, and go to Eagle from there.
You got to be looking forward to getting back to Kokomo after that USAC win and the way you were running with the World of Outlaws. I mean, you got to feel like you got a good chance there when you show up. Yeah,
we just got, unfortunately, had a motor problem at Kokomo when we won and blew that motor up, but we had one at Westmar getting freshened up, and we put Tim Engler helped us out with a new set of injectors on it, and I've won a lot of races, won the Ron Schumann Classic with this motor that I'm going to put back in. Won a lot of races with it, and I think it's better than it's ever been before, so we should have a good shot as well as we've been running with them the past couple times we have been out there with them. So we're feeling pretty confident, and, those are the best in the business, and hopefully we can get up there and get a win with them and show them how good the ASCS series is.
All right, bud. Well, listen, be safe. Go get them and show everybody what you've got, and, again, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks at Eagle, okay?
Thanks.
All right. That's Brady Bacon, the June Bug, and, man, he's an easy guy to like. And just think about it, folks. If he was able to have a good finish at Valley and I-80, if he didn't have that 18th and 12th place finish, he'd probably be right up there, really within just a few points of Jason Johnson and Wayne Johnson in those top 2 spots. Look for him to be a player for the championship before the end of the year. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to show you the A-Main from Sunday night at the Steve King Memorial in Jetmore, Kansas.
Next to your car's engine, your transmission is the second most important component of your car. If it's not properly maintained, your car may not shift properly. By adding Lucas Transmission Fix to your transmission, it cleans and lubricates sticking valves for proper shifting, renews worn bands to stop slipping, stops most seal leaks, will not void new car warranties, contains no harmful solvents. Lucas Transmission Fix. It works.
Griffith Truck and Equipment is Houston's #1 dealer for specialized used trucks with more than 50 years of service. Griffith stocks all makes and models of trucks for every need and will build to your specifications. Visit them online at griffithtruck.com or call 281-457-2195. Griffith Truck and Equipment is the proud sponsor of Gary Wright, the all-time winningest driver in the ASCS, 2011 Brodix Rookie of the Year Aaron Reitzel, and the Griffith Truck and Equipment ASCS Gulf South Series. Watch for the Teresa Griffith-owned Sprinter at a track near you. Griffith Truck and Equipment.
Ladies and gentlemen, as it begins to form up down the back straightaway, it's time to get on your feet, wave your hands, make some noise. These drivers appreciate you coming out. Show them how much you appreciate them. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series. The field lined up and ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. It's showtime in the state of Kansas. The 99 of Brady Bacon will set the pace to the drop of the green flag. The 05 of Brad Loyette to his outside. Neither driver with a win so far in 2012. We'll see if we can change that right here, right now. Green flag out of 4. The field going to race off into turns 1 and 2. It's going to be Brady Bacon on the inside line. He'll take full advantage of that pole starting position. He will lead up to the high side, though. He'll still away second. It's Jeff Swindell. Swindell and the Randy Washburn own 0 on the high side, but down to the inside. Here comes Hollywood. Johnny Herrera down to the inside. Swindell going to slam the door. Loyette shuffle back to 4th is right now the battle to be in the top 5. It's going to be the 1X of Kevin Swindell to the high side. The 36 of Jason Martin down to the inside. As up to the top now. One driver making moves. Another one down to the bottom. It's Tony Bruce Jr. up by Jason Johnson down low. As they work into turns 1 and 2, they'll battle on now with the 36 of Jason Martin. As Brad Loyette with a slick move off of turn number 2, slides it up in front of Johnny Herrera. Herrera, though, not going to give up that easily. Dives it back down to the bottom. He steals the position back. He'll still away 3rd as they work down the front straightaway. 25 laps of scheduled distance. Brady Bacon. A lot of success here at the Steve King Memorial. Looks to add another win to his resume as he'll take the Oil Field Equipment and Manufacturing 99 into turns 1 and 2. Then it's going to the Randy Washburn Motorsports 0, Jeff Swindell running in 2nd. Then it's the Mesilla Valley Transportation 45X of Johnny Herrera in 3rd. The Loyette Landscaping 05 of Brad Loyette running in 4th. Now dives it down to the inside. He'll still away 3rd. Those two swapping 3rd back for about the 3rd time in the last 5 laps. It is Loyette leading. The 45X makes that Loyette, actually running in 3rd. The 45X of Johnny Herrera running in 4th. Your top 5 right now going to be Kevin Swindell. Then it's going to be the 18 of Tony Bruce Jr., the 41 of Jason Johnson, the 36 of Jason Martin, the 77X of Wayne Johnson, the 2 of Dustin Morgan right now. Going to round out your top 10 as the battle for 11th is going to see the 9 of Gary Wright taking it away from the 81 of Danny Wood. The 45 is CJ Johnson, the 5H of Logan Forler. Then it's the 23 of Seth Bergman right now, your top 15 as we go back to the front of the field. Heavy lap traffic right in front of your leader as that's going to allow the 0 Jeff Swindell to close in. Brady Bacon having to move off the bottom of the racetrack. The 0 right there from a half a straightaway back. He closes to within 2 car lengths. And it turns 3 and 4. Both drivers right down to the bottom of the racing surface. It's still Brady Bacon. Seaman has gone a lap down. The 17W Colewood also a lap down as those two drivers now sit between the 0 of Swindell and the 05 of Loyette, but not for long. Loyette on the move down the back straightaway as he moves to the inside of the 72. The battle up front, though, still a good one as Swindell back up to the top groove. Brady Bacon down to the bottom. He's got cars side by side right in front of him. He's going to work by Hodges. They go 3 wide and so are traffic. Luke Cranston trying to not to go a lap down to competition. He's able to stay ahead of the 99 for the time being as Jeff Swindell down to the bottom. Brady Bacon up to the high side by side. Your battle is for the lead. It's the 99 of Brady Bacon, still the 05. Brad Loyette closing in as your 2 leaders. Oh my, Swindell sideways. Loyette able to make his way by. Loyette, though, not going to hold the position. Jeff Swindell heavy on the loud pedal to the inside line. Going to steal back 2nd. Loyette up to the high side. He's going to fall back to 3rd. The 45X of Johnny Herrera closing in as he runs at 4th. The 1X of Kevin Swindell still running at your top 5. And it's going to be the 41 of Jason Johnson. The 18 of Tony Bruce Jr. The 77X of Wayne Johnson running in 8th. 9th right now is going to be the 36 of Jason Martin. Your top 10 is going to round out with the 9 of Gary Wright. As we go back up front, the battle for 2nd, a good one. Down to the inside, drops Loyette to the high side. Swindell, he's able to pull away now for the time being, trying to run down the 99 of Brady Bacon. Bacon right on the bottom of the Great American Dirt Track, absolutely pulling away here for the time being. As we will look back further in the field, some good battles going on as the 45X of Johnny Herrera getting around slower traffic as he is clear. The 05 of Brad Loyette. Loyette now 2 cars behind the 45X. He'll go up to the high side as he has to contend with the, make that the 81X of John Freeman. Freeman able to clear away the 41 of Jason Johnson, able to close in as everybody battling to be up in the top 5 right now is still the 1X of Kevin Swindell. The 18 of Tony Bruce Jr. starting to reel him in as he runs at 6. 7th for the time being the 77X of Wayne Johnson. 8th is the 9 of Gary Wright. 9th is going to be Jason Martin. Your top 10 as they work through turns 3 and 4 is going to round out with the 45 of CJ Johnson. As Brady Bacon again running down lap traffic, the 48 of Jake Martin's the next driver in danger, going a lap down to competition. He goes to the high side, your leader down to the bottom, able to clear him with effortless ease. They work down the back straightaway. It is the 99 of Brady Bacon still leading to the bottom of turns 3 and 4. Jess Swindell going to have to follow suit this time. Starting to reel in Brady Bacon again, the battle about to be on as they work into turns 1 and 2. Swindell this time up to the high side. He'll try to build the momentum. He's got the run. He closed to within about 4 car lengths now, slams on the brakes, kicks it sideways, nearly runs into the back of Cole Wood. Cole Wood 17W going to hold up Swindell just a little bit. 7 laps remain here with the Steve King Memorial as they're dicing it up through slower traffic. Now the battle for third, the 45X of Johnny Herrera and the 41 of Jason Johnson. Herrera able to keep the 41 at bay for the time being with the 05 of Brad Loyette running out your top 5. As up to the front, Jess Swindell. He's got the run up to the high side by side. Your battle for the race lead. Brady Bacon going to have a choice to make. Goes to the middle. He gets the 0 up off of the groove and he makes his way back to the race lead. Wow, Brady Bacon letting it all ride to the middle of the racetrack. Pushes Swindell all the way up out of the racing groove. Swindell, he's going to fight back with a vengeance as they work into turns 3 and 4. Jeff Swindell back down to the inside line, closes right to the back bumper of Brady Bacon as Bacon able to just pull away on the exit of turn number 4 as he has got the exits of this track figured out. He is now pulled to half a straightaway. Swindell sitting in second, then it's Herrera, then it's going to be Jason Johnson, then Brad Loyette. Now in danger going back to 5th as Kevin Swindell's going to make his way by to the inside. Kevin Swindell on the inside line, Brad Loyette on the high side, the battle for 4th. It's going to be Swindell for the time being. Up front, the 99 of Brady Bacon, putting on some big moves, trying to post his first win of the 2012 season with the Lucas Oil America's Sprint Car Series. Jeff Swindell trying to steal away as we'll have less than 2 laps to go this time. Bacon up to the high side. Swindell trying to stalk him now as they worked on the back straightaway. Johnny Herrera, Jason Johnson, your top 4 with no lapped cars between them. As this time, the white flag is out. It's game on at the front of the field. The 99 of Brady Bacon again down to the bottom. Jeff Swindell to the high side. Lap traffic side by side. Jeff Swindell's got the run to the back straightaway. Brady Bacon going to have to use a 2 of Dustin Morgan as a pick as they work into turns 3 and 4. Final turn, final time, checkered flag. Brady Bacon to victory lane. Brady Bacon will pick up the win. Jeff Swindell, Johnny Herrera, Jason Johnson, and Kevin Swindell, your top 5. Brad Loyette, Tony Bruce Jr., the 77X of Wayne Johnson, the 9 of Gary Wright. Wow. The 36 of Jason Martin, the 81 Danny Wood, the 45 of C.J. Johnson should round out your top 10. But ladies and gentlemen, your winner. Talk about earning his paycheck tonight at a Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Driving the Fatheads Eyewear, Oil Field Equipment Manufacturing, Smiley's at Triple X 99. The Broken Arrow Bandit, Brady Bacon.
Always been a turning point in my season. Every year I come here, we always, pull out a win. And this year it's the same. So hopefully, in the past, we just really take off from this point in the season on, so hopefully it works the same this year.
A lot of great people helping you out this week and your family able to make the trip. Certainly, you have to thank them.
Yeah, my family, my mom and dad, my grandpa, Brandon Long, my crew guy, my fiance, Ciciana, all my sponsors, Fatheads Eyewear, Oil Field Equipment, PPM Titanium Products, Infinity Shocks. They've been a huge help this year in getting my car rolling around the track good. So without all my sponsors, Hoosier, Smiley's, everybody, it makes it a lot harder.
Randy and them guys gave us a great car, and the Super Shocks we brought out, put on it, did a great job. And I brought my crew from last year with me, my son and his friend, and another friend of mine from back home, and they all helped out, and there's a whole big gang of people over there working. But like I said, we were working outside, and Brady was in the shop all weekend, but that's all right. But most people would be really pissed off about getting drove off the end of the racetrack almost down there in 3 and 4. I almost had Brady. I had to run on him, and he come up on me, and, hey, I'd have done the same thing to him. If it had been reversed, I'd have drove him up the hill too, But we had a good shot both nights to win. We had a car that would win both nights. A couple of things went our way. Brady got real loose down there one time in front of me in 1 and 2, and I almost spun out trying to keep from hitting him. We lost the spot and gained it back real quick, so it was an exciting night, So I can't complain too much. you know, there's a lot of good guys out here, and we were very, very fortunate to have a great race car all weekend.